Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we help you determine what is fact versus fiction as people are spreading misinformation about the coronavirus.
And we talked with officials at detention centers here in Kentucky who say they are restricting visitors in response to the spread of COVID-19.
And to our south, Tennessee investigators have new information on the remains found last week that they have now confirmed to be believed Evelyn Boswell.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
The time is now 5:32. Good morning. I am Lacey Roberts.
And I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning on this Thursday, March the 12th.
And you know, today is a severe weather day for us here, but there's also a lot of severe stuff going around the whole world.
Yesterday I was talking with some roommates from college. It ranks in the top 5 of some of the incredible days in my 25 years on Earth.
Yeah, and it is, and it's going to rank like that for a lot of people. And of course, with this weather here today, Brandon, a lot of people need to watch out for that and keep up with us and check up with us to see how that's going to progress as the day goes on.
Exactly. Now, thankfully, it is a calm start to the day, so we're not trying to get all too crazy serious right now, but this afternoon, this evening, and tonight, absolutely need to get real serious about it because it could be the best chance we've had for some strong storms in a while. Let's take a look and see what's going on here this morning. UVA-wise, you see a lack of cloud cover. So again, it's ebbing and flowing this morning, so we're going to continue to watch that. Temperatures in some spots a little cooler. That means there's less clouds out there in those areas. 40s across most of the area. The only spots in the 50s this morning, Wise, Prestonsburg, Jackson, and Hazard. So again, a little on the cooler side. The wind is not quite picking up just yet. You see a couple of 5-mile-an-hour wind speeds there in Pikeville and Wise, but everybody else pretty much is calm right now. That will not be the case later today. We could see wind gusts 40, 50 miles per hour. I'll show you that forecast in a little bit, but the forecast you need to see, if we see any sunshine today, that is not our friend because it could help fuel thunderstorm development as temperatures approach or exceed 70 later today. We'll break down all the details for you coming up in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, a fake alert says there is a case of coronavirus in Pike County. The public health director for the county says they were made aware of the fake alert, and they added, "It is a shame. Someone is causing unnecessary fear." There are, as of now, no cases, and the texts were given to law enforcement to investigate.
Well, I can say that in Pike County that there are a variety of stakeholders and first-line healthcare providers and organizations that are preparing and planning for Pike County. So we want Pike County to know to remain calm and that we're ready.
The health department adds that any information on cases will come from a trusted source and they will be transparent.
And a fake social media post is circulating in regards to schools closing amid the COVID-19 outbreak in Kentucky. In the fake post, as you can see right there, it appears Governor Andy Beshear has said schools will be closed starting Monday until further notice. That post has been shared hundreds of times, but it was not actually put out by Governor Beshear. The Kentucky Department of Education issued a response on Twitter confirming that the information was indeed fake and that the only illness-related school closings in place at this moment are for other things like the flu in certain counties. And they urge people to check that information that they're getting from getting on the virus, and that is from a trusted source.
Now, here at WYMT, we alone have received dozens of questions about a false claim that someone tested positive for COVID-19 at Hazard Appalachian Regional Healthcare. We want to let you know we talked directly to hospital officials who told us they have no confirmed cases. We will keep you up to date if any coronavirus cases are confirmed in eastern Kentucky. As always, you can find the latest information on our website over at WYMT.com.
And amid some of these concerns, one clinic here in Hazard created an area to isolate patients with viral-like symptoms. This area at Primary Care Center will be for patients who have a fever of 100.4, a cough and/or shortness of breath that's linked to several respiratory viruses. The staff here are suited not to put other patients at risk. There's an area for staff to shower and clean their clothes as well.
Those staff have on the proper protective equipment to prevent them from contracting a virus and also spreading it to another patient. if they were to contract a virus, makes it much easier to contain viral spread.
Now, they do have some COVID-19 tests there and will use them for people who meet the criteria for testing. If someone does meet that, they will be asked to do a voluntary home quarantine while awaiting those results.
On Tuesday night, a person was brought to St. Clair Regional Medical Center in Rowan County with possible COVID-19 symptoms. Staff at the hospital say it is normal for patients to come in during this time of year with respiratory symptoms, but out of an abundance of caution, they felt the symptoms could be related to the coronavirus. Dr. William Mellahan says it is important for people to remain calm when dealing with the virus, as fear can make things worse.
My concern is that we don't say the things that fear drive us to saying, and that we just stay calm and we follow best practice. And in this case, it's really about hand washing and just common sense. I think the term we're using these days is social distancing. So, you know, if you guys want to give the Vulcan signal instead of a handshake, I'm fine with that. But we don't need to, you know, we don't need to be putting ourselves into complete isolation from each other.
That patient was taken to another medical center. The state health department is looking into the case. As of right now, no determination is made on whether or not that patient is suffering from the coronavirus.
And yesterday, Governor Beshear encouraged all Kentuckians to avoid large crowds and recommended churches cancel services this week. The governor also said he has suspended visitor access to all state prisons.
Now, many county jails are following suit and limiting visitors. Chelsea Jones talked with jailers about canceling visitations.
No visitors allowed at several jails in Kentucky, all in response to COVID-19.
We also are limiting client, attorney, one-on-one visits that we normally would have to behind the glass.
The new policy going into effect at Woodford County and Fayette County detention centers after Governor Andy Beshear canceled visitation at all state prisons. Jailers say it's an effort to protect staffers and inmates.
They eat together, you know, they sleep in the same area, they use, you know, some of the same restrooms and showers. So that's why we're doing this out of safety.
In years past, after responding to cases of the flu and hepatitis A, jailers say they are taking the same precautions.
Taking extra steps as far as wiping down the phones, while, you know, sanitizing the common areas. All the inmates have hand sanitizer in their cells.
They tell us on any given day, anywhere from a few dozen to over 100 visitors can come into the building, putting a lot of people at risk.
So this is our visitation area here. So you could see that even though we don't have direct contact with the inmate population, there still is the ability for it to be spread because there's air gaps around the windows.
They say inmates are also being screened for fever and are learning proper hand washing techniques. In Lexington, Chelsea Jones, WKYT.
Visitation policies are also restricted at some eastern Kentucky jails. We are trying to gather more information on those for you.
Administrators at the Big Sandy Region Detention Center have decided to suspend all visitation. They also will close the lobby to all but essential personnel. Commissary deposits can be made online. Anyone with questions can call 606-297-5245.
One man is dead following a two-vehicle crash yesterday in the Loyal community of Harlan County. Kentucky State Police say the crash happened on US 119 near the intersection of Kentucky 840 around 8:54 in the morning. A man was taken to Harlan ARH where he was pronounced dead. Harlan County Judge Executive Dan Mosley confirmed one of the county road department's dump truck was involved in the crash. The county employee was not injured. We do not know the name of the man killed, as police are notifying next of kin.
And a man from Wayne County, West Virginia, is accused of starting fire to two homes in Dunlow, including his own mother's. This right here is 49-year-old Larry Bevins. Police say the fires started at neighboring homes. Then police say he set fire to the front porch of his mother's home and under the crawl space of a brother's home. Police said the second home sustained significant fire and smoke damage to the crawl space and vinyl siding. Bevins is charged with 2 counts of first-degree arson.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency is opening an intake center in Nashville to help victims of a series of deadly tornadoes last week. The FEMA center is located at the Lee Chapel AME Church in North Nashville. The National Weather Service said the storm killed 24 people in Tennessee and spawned at least 10 tornadoes.
Tennessee investigators confirm remains found in an outbuilding last week are 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell. Authorities did not say how the toddler died. Evelyn was last seen in December, but she wasn't reported missing until February. That's when an Amber Alert was issued. Since then, her mother and grandmother have been arrested, but so far, no one has been charged in her death. Authorities say hundreds of tips eventually led them to property owned by the little girl's family. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says the case is still open.
Doctors who fail to inform women that drug-induced abortions may be halted halfway through the procedure could face felony charges under a bill advancing in Tennessee. Medical groups explain the claim is not backed up by science and there is little information about the reversal procedure's safety. The measure advanced out of the House Health Committee on Tuesday. It now moves to the full House chamber and must also clear the Senate. However, in the GOP-dominant state House, Republicans are likely to approve the bill's abortion restrictions.
And the Kentucky House approved a proposed ballot measure dealing with abortion. The proposal would amend the state's constitution to ensure it does not offer protections for abortion rights. The other bill would expand the state attorney general's authority to enforce abortion law.
Well, for minors in the Black Jewel saga, there has been some big developments surrounding a class action lawsuit. Attorney Ned Pillersdorf says the legal team they put together has achieved a settlement. As of now, that is sealed and awaiting the judge's approval. There's a meeting scheduled for next Tuesday in Cumberland for the minors. Attorneys say they hope to see the settlement unsealed before that meeting so they can provide more details.
And just ahead on Mountain News this morning, we have the latest on one Eastern Kentucky native's progress on season 40 of Survivor.
The forecast continues to look unsettled as we head toward the evening and overnight hours. I'll track out the storm threats in about 3 minutes.